This is one fast bike. Wow, impressive. This is the Aniioki A8 Pro Max, and take a look at that. Have you ever seen anything like that on an e-bike before? That is all battery, and it is a big battery. We'll take a look at that battery later, and I'll tell you now, this is one comfortable and very fast e-bike. You're going to enjoy this one, unless you're one of them people that get upset about e-bikes that are fast. You might not enjoy this one. Yeah, this is the Aniioki A8 Pro Max, and it's fast. You'd think being a Pro and a Max, it'd be like the top level of the bike, but there is actually a dual motor. This is only a single motor, and yet it's got a top speed of 33 miles an hour. I am throttle onlying at the moment and going at 31.6, which we'll check on the GPS shortly. 32 right now. This is one fast bike. Not only is it a fast bike, but it's got a massive range battery as well. Huge battery, 60 amp hours, it's 52 volts, so a bit more than your standard 48, not that much more. It's only 4 volts extra. People seem to think that that extra 4 volts is like putting a supercharger on it. It's not, but it does still have more power than is usually available on an e-bike. I'm very impressed with this single motor. New for 2025, it's 1,500 watts, but it peaks at 1,600 watts. Rear drive hub motor with a cadence sensor, so the power kicks in when it detects the pedaling. However, we've had to come to America to test this bike. We are back in Alabama because they're not trying to pretend it's 250 watts or anything like that as we get to the worst road and we test out this rear and front hydraulic suspension. The springs on the back are huge. It's making a bit of a clattering sound as we go over the bumps, but it's not uncomfortable, aided by you're pretty standard at this point, 20-inch, 4-inch wide fat tyres, but the suspension feels very nice indeed. It is not adjustable, I don't think, at the front at least. So we've got this rear sprung suspension here, and you've got your standard front suspension there. Very springy. But it's that kind of bike where you'd probably want to keep it on anyway. And it doesn't feel very clangy. It feels very nice actually. Doesn't take long for the bike's the cruise control to kick in, and already we're at the hill climb where I expect this to do very well. Maybe not as well as the dual motor bikes, but I'd love to see what this is like in dual motor, because they reckon in single form it's 120 Newton meters, so I'm expecting a lot from this. So it is heavy though. Let's have a quick weight check of the bike before we go up there. 45 kilograms. I'm not really sure where I can pick it up, if I can at all. Oh man. Right, how about this? Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus. Ow. I feel like that was heavier than 45 kilograms, or it was just awkward, I don't know. 120 Newton meters. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're setting off nicely. We're up to 18.2, 19.1 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour. This is going extremely well for a single motor. Okay, we're going down now. We're coming down for 20 miles an hour, 19.6, 19.2, but it's not really struggling. Very impressive actually. This is going to be a good time. I'm thinking maybe even sub 1 minute. I think easily sub 1 minute. Wow, impressive. And across the line. Very nice. And the Aniioki A8 Pro Max completed Sandy Lane in 43 seconds. That's the second fastest single motor e-bike up the hill, faster than the Enquiries X2000 dual motor e-bike, and only a second slower than the dual motor Enquiries X3000 Max, our bike of 2024. And to think the A8 Pro Max comes as a dual motor version too. If you'd like Aniioki to send the dual motor version to find out if it can top our hill climb leaderboard, then leave a comment below. So we'll talk about the range later, but yeah, that battery is meant to give 200 miles range, about 90 to 100 miles throttle only, obviously not in max speed like we're going right now. What I will say is the gears, being Shimano Tawny, 7-speed, the gear ratio and lack of higher gears doesn't really give you much room to pedal. After you get to 30 miles an hour, you're just freewheeling. You can't really help it go faster than that. So the max speed under throttle is pretty much the max speed of the bike. But it's a good max speed. If you are after a bike that you're going to hopefully ride around and convince people is legal, then in the UK or the EU, then this is probably not the bike for you. But if you're after a very fast, long-range bike, then this is looking like a fantastic purchase. However, if you really want to use this within legal parameters, then you can lock the speed to 20 kilometers per hour and disconnect the throttle. Just bear in mind that Aniioki have not tried to class this e-bike as 250 watts, and there is a very visible 1,500 watts written on the motor. Now, it is a big bike, so let's see how it came, because I'll tell you now, it's one of the heaviest boxes I've ever had to deal with. This is one very heavy and massive box, so be careful when moving it around. Seems well packed in there, but we'll see. That beast of a saddle! Whoa! Gotta get the pedals on. In the box we got a manual, pedals, front light, tools, 8 amp charger. We got the nearly 59 amp hour battery on charge, which should take somewhere between 7 and 8 hours. I'm loving that colour screen. That's very nice. It's very, very easy to see. It's got all your usual information that you need. And I like the fact that it's nice and bold, the speed. It's got like little orange bits that light up as you give power to the bike. Yeah, it's very, very comfortable. The suspension is great. The cool thing about this bike is it's not really that expensive as well. It's about 1,600 and a bit. We'll see if we can get a discount code to get it down a bit more than that. But yeah, that's not a bad price for the decent quality we're getting. We've got some good brakes as well, which we'll test shortly. Hydraulic, of course. It's a twist throttle, which works fine. Before we do the brake test, let's take a look at that battery, because it is an actual beast of a battery. One of the biggest we've ever had, so let's have a closer look. Right, to take the big, humongous battery out, we've got a key here. So it comes with 2 keys. Turn the key, that popped up then, and then you can see this 60 amp hour, 52 volt. Whoa! 3,120 watt hour, humongous battery, 200 miles this is said to do. Not sure what the cells are though, there's nothing on the website about it. It does say manufacturer Guangzhou Huar New Energy Co, but yeah, big battery though, and heavy. I'm glad it's got a handle, that's nice. And it drops in. Right, bus stop. Ooh, I was going about 23 miles an hour then. So there's the bus stop, probably about 3 and a bit meters. Not terrible, probably let down by the tyres more than anything. The brakes absolutely clamped down as well as they could, but it's so fast. It gets up to speed so quickly. It's similar in feeling to the Cost wheel I had, the CT20S, which was a beast. But this actually feels more of a bike and less of a motorbike, which is nice. It is obviously very, very chunky looking with that battery inside the frame, but it still doesn't look as motorbikey. So if you did want to risk it on roads that wouldn't be that welcoming to the power of this bike, then I think you're less likely to get pulled over than you are with something like that Cost wheel that looks like a motorbike, or any other e-bike that looks like a motorbike. It just feels so nice. But as always, there's a few negatives I've found on the way. The hand grips are not the most comfortable. They don't have the palm rests and they don't have much padding. The Shimano Tawny gears, I wish they had a higher gearing so you could actually help out a bit when you get towards 30 miles an hour, because you can't. So a bit more money spent on those would have been nice. The saddle, although it's very comfy, it seems to be like tilted back a bit, and it doesn't have any tilt adjustment. I'm kind of used to it, but it's very wide for my legs. Let's see how long this pedal assist takes to kick in. Oh, and there's another one. The pedal assist takes a long time to kick in. However, it shouldn't really be a problem because you've got a throttle. And I don't think many people are going to buy this bike to remove the throttle and try and lock it down to 15.5 miles an hour. I think people who are going to buy this bike are going to want to go fast. Another cool thing about the bike, it's actually got an alarm. So let's have a look at that. It comes with two little remotes, and it seems with the remote, if you want to turn it on or off, you need to use that, and the power button on there doesn't seem to do anything. So if I want to turn it off, I'm going to press the kind of unlock button, which is a bit counterintuitive, and then it's not locked, I don't think, but if I press the lock button, now there's an alarm. So if I try and move it now, it starts beeping at me. No immobilizer. That would have been nice. But it is a decent alarm. Yeah, that's a good alarm, that. So yeah, I press the unlock button to turn the alarm off, and when I want to turn the bike on, it's got like lightning. So I press that a couple of times, the screen comes on, and now I can ride away. So yeah, that's nice. But I would have liked the immobilizer as well, because this bike is so heavy that if it is immobiled and it's got an alarm, you literally could just leave it outside a shop, because no one's going to come along and take this away. You could pop in and pop out, and this would be absolutely fine. So I would have liked the immobilizer. Let's go down a curb. Let's go up a curb. You know what, it's a nice place to be on this bike. I've kind of got used to the wideness of the saddle now, and I feel like I'm just cruising along. And the great thing is, because it is like a motorbikey type saddle, but because it's not that motorbike style bike, you can raise it and higher it. So it's like the biggest, most comfortable saddle I've ever had that I've been able to raise and higher. And it also means that if you are a bit taller, you can still ride the bike, unlike many others. That's as far down as it goes. When it's all the way down, it's more like that cruiser moped feel, but you still need to probably be about 5'2", I reckon, to get on there. And now, unlike most types of bikes with this kind of seat, it actually goes up. Although not that far up, and it doesn't give a minimum insert. So I'm just going to kind of guess that there is the maximum. So even though you can raise it, it's better than your standard moped style e-bike in terms of how high you can go and how tall you can be. You probably still don't want to be much over 6'5" if you're going to pedal.
It's range check time, and I'm pleased to say that the range estimates of Aniioki do seem pretty accurate. Using throttle and mostly assist level 5, we were losing about 1% battery per mile. That's with me, 100 kilogram plus rider, and with it fairly cold. So I wouldn't be surprised if that 3120 watt hour battery would be good for close to 100 miles if you lowered the pedal assist levels a little bit, and if you were maybe 10 to 20 kilograms lighter than me. I'm also happy to report that the bike is very usable in lower assist levels. In lower levels, the power is pretty much still there. The bike just has a lower top speed. Also, the throttle seems to match the speed of the assist level rather than always giving the maximum possible speed. I do prefer it when it always gives the maximum, but it's not really a big issue.
It's got a nice bright front light and a rear light, which I believe is a brake light. No indicators. It's got solid pedals. It's got a horn. It's got a really chunky rear rack. No seats or anything like that. No foot pegs for a passenger. This could definitely take a passenger. So it would have been nice for them to supply some foot pegs. It kind of reminds me of a bike we had on a while back, which also had a massive battery. It was also fast. Not as fast as this though. This has definitely got more power running through its veins. But that bike had the rear saddle and the foot pegs, which is nice, and I really think with the amount of power this bike's got, that would be something that it would be good on this bike. But as it is a fantastic cruising e-bike for those people who want a bit more power than usual, and obviously live in Alabama like me. So there it was. Annie is indeed okay. Annie is more than okay. And that was the Aniioki A8 Pro Max. If you're interested in purchasing it, we do have a link in the description. If you use that link, it helps out the channel. And look out for a discount code, so save a bit more money if you can. It's already a fantastic price of $1,600. If you enjoyed this video, then do not forget to hit that thumbs up button. It helps a lot as well. But if you didn't enjoy this video, hit that thumbs down, smash it like you mean it. But let us know in the comments why you did it so I can get better. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, ride safe.